All right, thank you everyone for joining. Welcome to the Talking Turkey Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Commish Manny Jimenez. I'm joined by the one and only Cody Williams, the champ.
Hello, the champ is here. Cody, your cup of coffee. Here I am. And of course, with me is Tim, as always.
What's up, gentlemen? How y'all doing?
Doing wonderful after that Monday night game. Finally closing out this first week of football. Cody, big night for you. I see you're rocking your Niners
lucky shirt.
there.
The lucky shirt, of course. No McCaffrey, no problem. Doesn't even matter. Jordan Mason, slide him in. We can dice him up, run all over that Jets strong defense.
So did Rob get the highest value of the draft?
It depends on how much longer McCaffrey's out. If McCaffrey's back next week, doesn't miss any more games, it's hard to say yes. You would think not. It's good to have the handcuff. If McCaffrey misses more time and they announce it ahead of time, it would have to be the pick of the draft, right? What do you guys think?
Like you said, I think it depends on how much time he misses. If he doesn't miss any more games, how valuable is he going to be? I don't know. I mean, he was obviously a workhorse tonight, but it's Christian McCaffrey, so I don't know. I just can't imagine him having many more games like this. But he obviously was up to the job. So if McCaffrey does end up missing more games, that's a good pick or good trade bait for the guy who has McCaffrey. So,
Mason, he ran hard. He ran physical. He looked awesome. I was really impressed with the running style that I saw tonight from him.
Don't forget the O-line was opening up holes, and then even when he wasn't running, they were actually giving Purdy time as well back there against a strong defensive line. So that's got to be, when you look at the run game, you also got to look at the O-line. That was part of it as well.
Well, that's what happens when you sign Trent Williams and not mess around.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Yeah, but overall,
was, with Trent Williams' status kind of up in the air for a while, he's such a difference maker for that whole offense. So having him there is definitely huge.
Oh yeah, big holes were opened up. I love seeing Debo get some carries. He got more than 5 carries on the night. It was awesome.
I think he got 8. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Plus a touchdown. Yep.
Plus the TD, tough running TD. It was great. Love seeing it. Very, very happy with that production. So, but overall, Niners kind of picking up right where they left off. A tough defense. They're going to pound the ball against you. They're going to pound, and then play action. And Kittle had some nice deep balls wide open where Brock was able to hit them. So they look good. As far as the Jets on the other side, what do you guys think of the Jets' performance?
It was
Tim. You want to take this one?
Yeah, I mean, it was just very. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Not very diverse. Like I pointed out in our chat, it took Aaron Rodgers 42 minutes to complete a pass to someone other than Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. So that's obviously they got to open up their passing game a little bit more, but I don't know. I mean, I expected Rodgers to come out kind of starting slow. Yeah. And especially against a good defense, there's easier matchups he could have had for his first game back, really in a couple years. I don't even count last year at all because he played 5 plays. So I think they'll get better, but did not look good for week 1.
And I think ideally they want to lean on the run a little bit more and maybe go off the play action, but they got down a little bit early, and so they kind of had to scrap the game plan and tried throwing out of it, and that just played right into the 49ers' strength where they kept getting turnovers or 3 and outs due to incompletions, and then from there the offense was able to just kind of chip away from the 49ers' perspective and get field goal after field goal after field goal. And man, those fantasy points add up, let me tell you what.
I have him in my other league, yeah. So
there we
go. But yeah, I think the Niners just dominated time of possession too. I mean, I don't know what the actual number is, but I'm sure with Mason running the way he did, I bet the 49ers ran way more plays on offense. So.
Yeah. Time of possession I have here, 38 minutes to the 49ers and 22 to the Jets. Yeah. So almost double.
Almost double. Yeah.
So you're right on there, Tim.
Yeah. That's massive in a football game, right? It means controlling clock, controlling the play calls. It's yes. very impressive by the Niners win. Good win. Good win at home.
Yeah.
I did say last week on the cast that I told you I haven't seen Rodgers play quality football in 2 years, right? Last year, obviously being out the whole year, a year exactly from now on first Monday Night Football of the season. But the year prior when he was last year in Green Bay, yes, he just didn't play well. He didn't look good. I mean, and he had Alan Lazard there, right? The guy he threw touchdown to tonight. I mean, so the team.
But is he a true number one? Is he a true number one? He lost to
No.
Devontae Adams. It's hard to blame him for what happened that year.
But I still he could have done more as a leader to help that young core. Look at that young core now; they're excellent. So he could have taken it upon himself to do more for that team, and he just was kind of checked out. So I just haven't seen him commit since that time, right? He didn't commit to that team. The Jets offseason here, he would miss a lot of time in the offseason because he went on some weird vacation, and even the coach called him out for it. So
yeah.
I don't know how invested he is, right? And even after this game, he didn't look – old Rodgers would have been furious to lose a game like this, to throw 160 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. But this Rodgers is kind of like, oh, look at Tyrod Taylor. He looks great out there. So it's kind of odd to see.
Yeah, I think like I said, I pointed out that Mike Williams wasn't involved. I don't really know how many snaps he played or if he even saw the field. But if he's anything like what we saw glimpses of with the Chargers, then he'll obviously bring another dimension to the offense. But yeah, just very limited right now, and they don't really have outside of Garrett Wilson, not a lot of good pass catchers other than Breece Hall. So yeah.
Well, I don't know. They didn't give Tyler Conklin a chance. They didn't see what they had. Honestly, they felt like they forced the situation too much, especially to Garrett Wilson. So if they opened it up, they might look different, but it just didn't look like a very sound offense right now. So
Conklin might have been helping with blocking too. I mean, Nick Bosa's. I think I've heard he's kind of good. So
requires double teams. Yeah. But to Tim's point, the stat I have here is Mike Williams is out there for 4 snaps in the first half and only a handful in the second half. So recovering from that, torn ACL, it's going to take a little bit of time, especially now that he's an older player.
Yeah. We'll see him bounce back. Hopefully, he's still an elite. He can be an elite receiver. Just we'll see what happens. But
good jump ball guy.
Oh yeah,
so,
deep threat.
Yeah. But Cody, so you had this great victory watching the Niners get their first win of the season, and then this actually parlayed into your first fantasy win of the season, right? So
yeah,
Jake Moody, baby.
That's right, Jake Moody, baby. Whether he's on your team or not, he's hard not to love. Really, let's be honest here.
That is correct. There was a really heated matchup between you and Andrew this week. I called Andrew would beat you in week 1, and it was
that was your bold prediction of the year.
Bold prediction of the week.
It's week. Okay.
And I was like feeling pretty good about it until 1 hour before kickoff.
Yeah.
When Christian McCaffrey got downgraded to out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, this is kind of rough. And then, Andrew still has a 7-point lead. Was it 70-7?
5. 75 to 70.
75 to 70. You were leading Andrew, and you
I
both
was behind Andrew.
You were behind Andrew, and you both had both kickers going. And
yes,
Andrew inexplicably sent out a text saying, Jake Moody, baby. And
he did after the first field goal, the 40-yarder.
Tim, very casually responded with, what did you say?
I said you're rooting for your opponent's kicker, I think. Something to that effect, yeah.
So I don't think Andrew knew he actually had Greg Zuerlein in the lineup. And that's the only explanation I have for this.
Clearly he did not.
That's the only explanation I have as well.
Yeah. He thought he had Jake Moody for sure when he sent that. So
yeah, he had to.
So yeah. That was interesting. It's kind of funny. I mean, it sucks, to have your, star, number 1 running back, number 1 overall
first overall draft pick,
declared out right before the game, and you can't do anything about it. But
you could do something about it. You could take the handcuff. I don't know in the 12th round if you're taking a running back at that type of value.
One that
Yeah.
was already injured.
Rob was smart
Yeah.
enough to kind of, especially one that's having calf problems and not practicing and not playing in preseason. It might be a
True.
smart idea to go ahead and just take the handcuff.
That
It
is
was
true.
widely reported that he had that calf injury well before our draft.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. And Rob was smart enough to say, you know what, just give me Mason. If Andrew doesn't want him, I'll go ahead and take him here in the 13th round. And I'll just keep him on my bench just in case something acts up with this calf. And luckily Rob didn't actually have to, go out and play him. I think Rob ended up losing by more than what Mason would have gotten him, but he would have had to know Friday, which apparently is when Mason might have known.
That was the wild part to me. So I watched the post game interviews. I love watching the players, especially if they have a breakout game like that. And you knew he was going to get some interview time. And the interviewer was spot on. I love what she did. She asked him point blank, "When did you know you were going to start this game?" And he stopped for a second and he thought about it. And he's like, "I knew Friday." I was like, "Oh, what?"
The world didn't know till Monday.
Wow. So I don't know if you guys watched that live, but when I saw that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's not good." Someone didn't tell the kid to say, "Hey, I found out right for the game." That's not good. Not good.
I didn't see it live. I had to watch it on Twitter because I wasn't sure I believed you at first. And then I saw it and I was like, man, why didn't he just say he found out right before the game? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But
It's
obviously
a little too honest.
he wasn't prepared for the question, obviously.
Yeah.
Someone should have probably told him, hey, if anyone asks, you just found out right before the game that you're going to start. But yeah.
Well, I mean, and because it goes to a lot of betting lines and those things that go into, all the DraftKings lineups that are out there and all the people that are, betting on Friday or Saturday to expect, or even Sunday, like, oh yeah, I'm going to lock in my parlay for the week. And that game's obviously part of it. And there's no indication that McCaffrey's going to miss the game. And that's why the injury reports are so important. And it was very surprising to me that they allowed that to happen. So someone's going to get their hand slapped for sure for this one. That was pretty, that because they've affected a lot of betting lines. It affected a lot of, fantasy football lineups. Just very, very shocking.
I don't know. We've seen NFL players do much worse, and they just get their hand slapped a little bit on the wrist. It might be a little fine. The owner comes through and pays out of his $1 billion bank account. It won't be much.
No. Mason's not going to get in trouble for this.
No, I know. Yeah. Someone above. Yeah.
But I mean, usually betting, gambling sites will refund bets. Like if people had bets on McCaffrey's rushing line or whatever, they'll credit those back or refund them.
Oh, those, yeah.
But people with the inside information who knew Mason was going to start ahead of time probably bet on his yardage total, whatever the maximum they could probably, and probably made out. So
yeah.
But yeah, it sucks for anyone who had McCaffrey. So, but if they were prepared and had a backup plan, then they might have been okay. But yeah, what I meant by him having nothing or being too late for him to do anything about it is just you can't in our league. You can't just go in and grab somebody last minute. Not that there was anyone probably that would have helped him anyway. But
yeah, since Rob already had Mason, there really wasn't a move Andrew could make. He just had to kind of sit there and root for the Jets or root for Jake Moody. I don't know what he was doing. Yeah, Jake Moody, baby. Yeah. He went 6 for 6, had 2 kicks above 50 yards. Fantasy stud. He's a second-year player out of Michigan. He's a guy who I watched a little bit in college and crushed it, and I was happy when the 49ers drafted him. If you go back and look, I even took him in our Turkey Bowl League and had him as my kicker last year. I thought he had a lot of potential. And, this is why you don't give up. We talked about it last year. Manny talked about, tongue-in-cheek benching his players as a reference to Angel from last year. This is why you don't give up. I didn't give up against Andrew. McCaffrey gets ruled out, which hurt my heart. I wasn't sure how they would perform against the Jets. I wanted the 49ers to win, first and foremost above my fantasy team. I got both. What can I say? I had the best of both situations here.
Better to be lucky than good, right? So.
It is so much better to be lucky than good. I've never once said I'm good at fantasy football. I've always been the luckiest at fantasy football, as you can see here by my 4 titles, including the one I'm currently holding on to. I'm hoping to luck my way to another one, go back to back. Andrew tried talking shit when he thought he had it locked up, told me he didn't need McCaffrey to end up beating me. I let him know, it's kind of uncalled for. It's a little bush league to do that. We'll see what happens. I guess karma came for Angel last year. Karma came for Andrew this year. That's just kind of what happens when you don't follow the karmatic ways of the fantasy football gods.
You play to win the game, as our
That's right.
friend, Herm Edwards said.
That's right. I think he was talking about fantasy football in this situation. Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
So, you brought up this video, Cody. We were privy to it towards the end of this game. We had you and Andrew were kind of going back and forth before the game kickoff, and little banter here and there on who's going to win. And Andrew was saying, wrote a little blurb about how he was going to win, even without his starting RB. We're like, oh, okay, well, this is pretty good. But you said around 5, right at kickoff time, you received a video message, right? And
that is correct. Yeah, about 5 minutes before kickoff, I was driving over to the local establishment that serves adult beverages, where I was looking forward to watching my team just put up a good effort against these New York Jets. And I could see the group chat going off, but then I got a separate message here that was private, and I was like, oh, what is this? And I look, and it was a video, and I thought it might have been a mistake. And so before exiting my car, I go and watch it, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I had to watch it again before responding that this was really happening, that someone was kind of taking a victory lap against me. The champ, by the way, someone who got second to last place last year, was taking a victory lap against the champ in week 1 of the regular season. Someone who's only in their second year of the Turkey Bowl. I couldn't believe it and almost didn't know what to say. I wanted to bend the knee a little bit, let him know that I thought he was going to win. He had a 5-point lead with just each of our kickers going. And so I just let him know, hey, that's kind of Bush League, man, that you're going to go ahead and take a victory lap. Where was this talk beforehand? Where was this talk on Friday, Saturday, even Sunday midday I would have taken. But Monday night, when you're already up 5 with just each of our kickers going, I don't know if this is going to work out for you. And then sure enough, once things seemed to kind of go against him, I just let the fantasy group chat know, hey, this is the type of player we're playing with, just so everyone knows. Keep an eye out for Andrew. He's going to only talk shit when he's ahead.
Yeah, we were all privy to the video. Tim, I know you saw it. You have some thoughts, and after you give me your thoughts, we're going to play this video for everyone to see, and then we'll kind of break it down. What were your initial thoughts when you saw this video?
I mean, I thought it was interesting. I think, with a 5-point lead and kickers going, you never know. There were some monster kicker performances this week, and the Niners are at home. They've got the better kicker, probably the better offense easily. So I don't think it's a stretch to imagine that Moody might outscore Zerline by 5 or more points. So, and he's been talking shit to pretty much everybody this year, and he only won 4 games last year.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I mean, I like the confidence, even if it's maybe false confidence. But it's enjoyable, it's entertaining. So, kudos to him for stirring the pot a little bit.
In fairness to him, he did come on this podcast and talk about, at a certain point last year when Tim couldn't make it, Andrew was our guest sitting in for Tim. And he was going through his next 5 matchups and talk about how he was going to murder Ricky and smash Romo, and Carlos wasn't even going to be a matchup. And he lost most of those games. I think he lost 4 of the 5 that he went through with us. So you would think he might learn his lesson a little bit. I got to say, I respect it. Just keep going, be yourself, go forward, and just talk shit to everybody you can, especially if you're the little guy that no one believes in. You got to let everyone know that you're here and you're going to be gunning for everybody.
Andrew had a big learning curve last year, and he said he learned a lot of lessons, and he started to understand how this league operates and this, the game is played. Still, it sounds like he has a couple of things left to learn, but you definitely love the confidence. I hope he keeps that confidence and keeps it rolling. But on that, we're gonna go and show this clip. Everybody will have at it. You take from it what you will. Andrew, I love you for being who you are. Roll the tape.
What's up, Cody? You little bitch. This is your future Turkey Bowl champion here. And I know you think you're getting all excited because CMC is not going to play, but I don't need CMC to beat your ass. And this might be premature, but, I wanted to get this to you before your little podcast tonight. So I hope you're excited. You're probably regretting your drafting decisions right now. Probably regretting picking up a quarterback in the 4th round, you freaking idiot. But I'm glad I play your pussy-ass team twice this year, even though by the time I play you again, I'm already going to be heading to the championship, and you're going to be headed straight to the toilet bowl. Anyways, we'll see what happens tonight. You got a big handicap, but you're still going to fucking blow this shit.